Good morning. It's Saturday morning. We've got swimming in about half an hour, so I'm just trying to have breakfast very quickly, but I thought I'd come in and introduce this video. So today I'm going to take you along my day. We're going to be doing a little bit of thrifting. We're going to be mostly listing today. I've photographed all of the stuff that I want to post this weekend. So we're going to take it easy. It's going to be a slow start to the weekend. I do have a lot of cleaning to do. Those of you with ADHD know that cleaning is definitely not our favorite thing. And I find it really difficult to stay on top of it all. But today we're going to try and do a little bit of that. I bought one of those ADHD notebooks that helps you apparently to stay organized. So it split tasks into daily cleaning tasks, weekly cleaning tasks, and I looked through it and I was like, nope, already overwhelmed, I can't do this. But I do like being able to take items off a list, and I like timing myself, so I may just put the timer on. I do have a system in terms of how I end up cleaning when it gets a little bit too much, and what I tend to do is I grab a bin bag first, focusing on the room that I'm in. Everything that is trash obviously goes into the bin bag. That is step number one. Step number two is I go around the counters and I find anything that doesn't belong in this room. I don't then go back and put that in the room it belongs. I leave it outside of the door. So in the kitchen, I don't have a door to the kitchen, so it will be left basically in the hallway for me to take at a later point, because if I then go to these different rooms, I actually end up focusing on that room when I want all of my attention on the room that I'm working on. Next thing that I do is clear the counters, and then I do the dishes. And once the counters have been cleared, we obviously disinfect the countertops and clean as best as we can. And then the flooring. The flooring is very easy. You just make sure that you pick up everything that doesn't belong on the floor in the first instance. Everything that belongs in a different room goes into a different room. And once I've tidied up the floor and it is clear, we then of course mop. The number one priority today, however, is to go to the Apple shop. Now, I spoke about this on my Instagram stories and I told people how outdated my tech feels. I'm trying to edit videos using Clipchamp, so Microsoft's own integrated editing software. And it's just been a nightmare. It's so chunky, it's very slow in processing videos. So I'm actually looking forward to just trying on a couple of laptops for size, and I'll obviously bring you along. To the Apple store, which was enlightening to say the least. There was a very helpful person there who talked me through my options. So initially when I walked in, I thought it would be the MacBook Pro that I need, but it turns out the MacBook Air is actually the better fit for me. It will do everything that I need it to do, basically, in terms of being able to edit videos, in terms of being able to run all my listing software and the bits that I need for the business. But the only thing is that the one that was recommended to me was the basic MacBook Air. But the issue with that is that the processing power is basically the same as my Dell. And I hadn't realized this is where the husband came in, because I went and talked to him about it, and he was like, actually, the one that you have has the same processing power, so you may want to like upgrade that. So if I want to upgrade that, that's an extra £200. So in total, that would mean £1,700 for a new laptop, which is a crazy, insane amount of money. But at the same time, new phones cost that much. Have you seen the Galaxy like foldable ones? I mean, I couldn't believe my eyes. I think it was like near enough £2,000 for a phone. So I think we're okay in terms of the price point. But initially I was thinking about lending that money to my business as a business loan, if you like, from my own personal funds, and then I pay myself back. But it's a steep target, and I am already on a mission on Instagram to make 10k in 10 months. So technically we should be able to have that money together in about 2 months. Quick math there. So I'm thinking I'm just going to side hustle for it. And I know that's a big ask. It's a lot of money and a lot of pressure because there's a goal inside. But what I have noticed is in my personal life, if I do have a goal, if I do have laser focus, if I do have something to work towards, I do find it easier to reach that goal. By having a tangible goal to work towards, you're not just working towards like a figure, you're working towards what that figure will get you. So in my case, obviously it's going to be that MacBook Air, but in turn it will give me back time. It will give me like an upgrade in terms of how I run my business, how I run my business online, and this content creation side of things. I mean, if you're not betting on yourself, then what is the point of life? So I am fully convinced that we will be able to get this money together. When, I have no idea, but we will certainly give it a go. Now, with the additional processing power that I want to purchase, that's £200. Otherwise, it would have been £1,500 for the laptop. But obviously, I do want to get like more life out of it. I want there to be longevity. So that's what we're up to, and I will, of course, keep you guys updated on here. But for now, what we're going to do is just get the kid some lunch. I'm preparing fish finger wraps for him, and we will sit down and list, because that's what I will have to do. I did get a couple of bits for him from Next, so I'm going to show you that next. Let me just get lunch out of the way before he starts complaining. Was a very nice lunch, but we are catching up a little bit later than expected. It's about 3:30 now. We didn't get a MacBook obviously in town, but we kind of know the specs now. I think earlier on in the vlog I told you guys about the processing RAM and the one that I wanted, and I said £1,700, but actually when I reconfigured what I would actually like as part of that MacBook Air, it is going to be a little bit more pricier. So we're looking at about 2,200. So that's our goal. That's what we're going to save for. The craziest thing happened in town. So after the room started spinning at Apple and they were just throwing all these figures at me and all sorts, we decided to just pop out. We went to Tim Hortons, and it's me, my husband, and my little boy. He's 6. And we ended up just getting him a donut. That's what he wanted, and I got myself a nice coffee. They do like this combo, and it's like $3.99. Anyway, we sit down, and if you're from Leicester, you'll know the Tim Hortons I mean, the one in town, not the one in Foss Park. so we've just sat down. We're just waiting for the order to be called and get ready. And it's just me and my son at this point, because my husband, I think he went out to look for t-shirts or something. So anyway, this guy comes rushing in and he jumps over the counter and hides behind the counter. And this other guy is chasing him with literally a bottle in his hands, and he's like effing and jeffing, swearing, going, "You think you can hide in here?" And the guy has got a bloodied face because obviously he must have gotten hold of him earlier. And they're both throwing around the F words, and it's just so stressful because I've got my 6-year-old there. And this is one of the main reasons we don't really come into town anymore. And I think I'm just going to stay to High Cross from now onwards. Or if I'm on my own, you know, I've seen it all. So I'm trying to cover his ears, his eyes, so he doesn't actually see anything. And it just seemed to be carrying on a bit. And in that moment, it feels like it's minutes and minutes long. But it was very short. But about a couple of seconds in, I just went, right, I grabbed him, and we sat all the way in the back so he couldn't actually keep hearing all this nonsense. But yeah, it was really intense, because then the guy decided to come and sit at the table that we were sat at, you know, the one that didn't want to leave, because he was obviously afraid that this guy would be waiting for him. And although you sympathize with people like that, because you're just like, what has happened in your life for you to end up like this? It's really sad. But at the same time, I've got a 6-year-old who doesn't need to be exposed to how nasty the real world is. And at some point, they'll have to become street smart. And I get that, but I'd rather delay that as long as possible. But anyway, I think that will be the last time I take him into town for a bit. I'm going to just stick to Foss Park. Anyway, let me show you the t-shirts that he picked up on a happier note. He's really into graphic tees, so he grabbed this one. That's the first one he gravitated towards. I think it's Godzilla. Yes, Godzilla with some Japanese writing, and obviously Godzilla likes a pizza. And then the other one that I picked for him is this burger one. It's got a really cool graphic on the back, and these were all £8 each, and all of the graphic t-shirts were like in one section, so if that's what you were looking for, it was very easy to find. The other one he picked is this. I do like this sandy color on him. My husband is Latin, I am East African, so he's a nice little mix between the two of us, and these sort of colors really do suit him very well. And this is the back of that one. The only thing that I picked up for myself to cheer myself up is this Vera Bradley Bath & Body Works combo collaboration. It's called Peach Blossom and Nectar. And when I tell you this smells divine, it smells divine. I always get these perfume mists. I don't like anything else from Bath & Body Works. Actually, tell a lie, I buy their hand gel as well, because that comes in really nice scents as well. So I'll pick up the hand gel. They're like £4 for the small, tiny little bottle. Doesn't last very long at all. And then these last forever, I swear to God. If you don't want to invest in a good perfume yet, get these, because I will use this literally the way that I just sprayed it, day in, day out, and it will last forever. I think I still have one that I got for Christmas. The other thing that I've done in the meantime is I went upstairs to transfer a load of stuff off my phone onto the external storage, which is great because I ended up freeing up about 150, I'd like to say. No, it was a little bit less than that, about 100 gigabytes off my phone, which is great because then hopefully I won't get that notification, your storage is full, for a little while. So now I'm going to sit down, I'm going to start listing. I don't feel very well. I've not been feeling well all week, and I just can't shake it. I don't know what it is, but I got the chills. I'm pretty sure if I were to take my temperature now, it'll be a little bit more raised. I don't think I'm quite feverish, but definitely running on the hot side. So blanket, cup of tea, and start listing, I think. tomorrow we are doing a car boot. Now, I don't do a lot of car boots, but I will, of course, take you along, and there will be another video later on this week uploaded about that, and I will of course also show you what I got at the car boot. The reason why I don't do a lot of car boots is I find them really overwhelming. Now, the one nearest to me is a really big one. Hopefully it will be a good turnout, because if I'm gonna suffer, I want to suffer with results. Now, obviously, with the colder months rolling in, the burr months, I tend to do very well as a vintage home decor reseller. I've seen my sales literally triple in these months. So we need to focus on stock, because obviously you need to feed the machine in order to keep getting sales. I always say to people who are starting out reselling vintage home decor that it is really not rocket science at all. List consistently. So if that's 3 items, 1 item a day, whatever that looks like for you, just list consistently, but make sure that you list. You need to list in order to keep making sales. Now, when you're first starting out, you do need a nice catalog. Okay, so you need to try and get yourself up to, like, I don't know, maybe 100 items, I would say. 100 items to begin with, so you have a nice base, and then you need to feed the machine constantly. I don't do it, but I will run an experiment actually in September that I'm going to start, a little bit of an exclusive for you. In September, I'm going to make sure that I list at least 1 item a day. Now, that will hopefully be more items a day, because 1 item a day would only 30 items for the month, which isn't exactly amazing, but I'm gonna try and make sure that I consistently feed it at least 1 listing a day. Hopefully on my listing days, i.e. Friday, I will be listing more, because obviously the more you list, the more you sell. Hopefully you've enjoyed this vlog, and I'll see you on the next one.